So today we will go high level on these two particular, and then one by one, like we will discuss all these component, like important component in very detail. Okay, and then we will discuss some scenario also. Okay, how and which component will be more suitable for that particular scenario. Yeah. So first, let high level on other remaining component. So one is flow reference. Okay, this flow reference component we use to call another flow, subflow, or child flow. Okay, so here using flow reference component, you need to give as a means you have to select reference flow, and then whenever control will come to this flow, it will go. Our control will move to referenced flow. Referenced flow will be can be child flow, it can be subflow, it can be flow, or it can be private flow also. Okay. Then we have this logger component. Okay. So using this logger component, we do logging. Okay. And whenever we do logging, we have 5 type of logging. Okay. If you see logger component, let me start studio also parallel. So we have 5 type of logging like info log, debug log, error log. Okay. So you can select log level. At the same time, when you are defining your Mule, when you are creating your Mule application in POM file, you will in not sorry, in log4j file. Okay. So there you will able to see log level. Okay. So you can select which log level you want to display in log file. Okay. And at the same time, when you will select this logger component, you need to select which log level you are printing that particular log. Okay, my studio is starting, so I will show you that part. So let me take any logger component. So here you can see log level, and we have 5 level: debugger, error, info, trace, and wardy. Okay, and at the same time, when you open your log4j file, here you will able to see in async root we are saying okay which log we want to display in our log file. Okay, when it will create a log file, so which level of log we want to capture. Okay, and where it will be captured, so that location also we are capturing here. System mule file name, system mule home, system file separator. So this will be your path where your log will be captured. Okay, and then we have transform message. Okay, so in transform message, like you can create n number of variable and one set payload. Okay, so like we have already set variable, set payload. Okay, but set variable and payload will work only for one value. Okay, you can set only one key value pair there. Either you can set one payload using set payload, or using set variable you can set one variable. But in transform message, at the same time, you can set one payload plus n number of variable. Okay, so if you see here in this transform message, right now I have one variable. Okay, I have 3 variable. Okay, at the same time, I can create one payload also, set payload also. Okay, once I will click on OK, one set payload will be created. But after that, you will not able to create set payload again. So you can see here in this drop down, we got a payload only one time. Once you will configure that, then that payload will be removed from the drop down. Okay. Hope my screen is visible, correct? I'm sure why this red line is not coming. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, Ravi.
Yes, Ravi. We can see
Oh,
you.
okay, fine. So in transform message, we have only one time set payload and we can set n number of variable. Okay.
Ravi,
And
we didn't see the Elephant Studio, Ravi. We just see the whole document.
okay.
No, for me, I can see the studio.
Okay. Let me do share it again. Let me know. No, is it visible or not?
I can see it. I can see it now.
Okay. So generally transform message we use for database mapping where we can create variable and payload. Okay. And next component we have batch processing. Okay. So right now, actually, whatever component we have discussed on high level. But now again, we will go through few components on very detailed level. Okay. Now coming to batch component, batch processing. Okay. In batch processing, like whenever we have huge number of records, okay, let's say we have 10,000 records and we want to do processing. Okay. If we will do processing sequentially, then what will happen? If one record will take 1 second or 2 seconds of processing, then 10,000 record will take 20,000 seconds of processing, which will be very huge time. Okay, 20,000 seconds is very huge time, and our server will be busy. Like it will increase a heavy, like it will create a heavy load on our server for long time. Okay, so definitely like sequential processing will not be good approach. And at the same time, if you are processing 2,000 record, sorry, 10,000 record, then that particular API response time will be very high. So that will not be a good approach. So in that case, we need to think we can do parallel processing or not. Okay. Again, we for doing parallel processing, we have parallel for each. Okay, using that we can do parallel processing, but in parallel for each, you have to do all the manual handlings for error scenario. Okay, since in parallel for each, even if one payload will fail, your processing will stop. Okay, and you have to do manual handling and you need to do lots of effort there. Okay, so to avoid that, what you can do, you can use batch processing component here. In batch processing, we have lots of capability. Okay, let's say we have property to ignore failed cases. Okay, even if there will be failure, your batch processing will not stop. At the same time, like you can process, like we have property where we can process only failed record. Let's say you have in 10,000 record, 100 record is failed record. So with the help of batch processing property, we can filter out those record, 100 failed record, and we can either do reprocessing or we can send to some error queue or error database where like we can like perform next action, either reprocessing or manual handling or whatever we want to do. Okay. And at the same time, in batch processing, we can generate result also. Okay. So in result, we will able to see how many failed records are there and how many successful records are there. Okay. So we have lots of advantage on batch processing component capabilities wise. So that's why like batch processing will be very good option if you are dealing with very huge number of records. Okay. Now what we will do, we will like we will get in-depth knowledge of few components which works which we use very frequently and which help us to improve our API. Okay. And then we will discuss some scenario based question. Okay. So here, so these three, it's very straightforward, nothing to discuss much. Okay. Now here we have lots of component which we need to understand in detail. Okay. So let's start with async component. Okay. Yesterday we had discussion about async component. Can anyone tell me how it works? And in which scenario we should use async component?
For example, if you have a banking accounting, so if you want to create a new account, that account is not available in the DB, that means that is a new account. In that case, we need to provide a welcome message to him. In that case, we can provide a separate flow for the welcome message, everything. Then we can call it as a synchronous flow. And then if you have existing account, then we can continue. So like in that case, we can use a synchronous flow. So in the welcome message, we can set it, but we don't need to get any information from that.
Good example. Anyone else want to try?
Again, we can say like another way. If we asynchronous flow means it will continue simultaneously, uh, uh, but we shouldn't expect the output. You shouldn't expect the output from the other flow. For example,
Okay.
flow A, flow B, two-way flows are there. If you call flow B is a asynchronous flow, that means both flows we can call same time, and we can didn't expect any output from the flow B.
Okay. Okay. Let me explain. Yeah. Okay, so we have this API. Okay. Here, like we are getting, this is related to customer registration. Okay, so customer will fill all this detail and then they will call this API. So first we will create customer information, then we will create customer contact account information. Let's say customer, here we are inserting customer personal information. Okay, here we are creating customer account information. Okay, so once we will create customer personal information, we will get customer ID. Okay, using that customer ID, we will create one entry in account table. Using like we will use that same customer ID to insert in customer account. Okay, and then we will send welcome email to customer, and then there will be success message will be created and it will be sent back to calling system. Okay. So here you can see this, like we are creating customer personal information. This one is done. This one is also done. So customer account setup is done. Okay, we have created personal information. We have created account information. Okay, but when we are sending welcome message, due to any reason, if this processing will fail. Okay, so will it impact our like that customer account creation? No. So first thing, even if this processing will fail, it will not create any impact in customer account creation. Okay. So if we are able to send successful message, then well and good. Even if we are not able to send successful welcome email, okay. Like once this API will be completed, it will send success message and then customer will able to see, they will redirect, okay, your account created successfully on app itself. Okay, we are sending additionally, we are sending email. That's good to have like a better user experience, like they will receive notification also through email. But even if that email will not be sent, there will not be any impact. Okay. And at the same time, if this event email sent like this, when we are sending email, it's taking 2-3 seconds. Okay. So if we are adding it into asynchronous calling, then again, like it's a like it's creating one kind of issue with our response time. So additional 2-3 seconds we are processing here, which is not a critical functionality for this, which is not a critical part of this functionality. Okay, and when we will send email, then you will say, okay, if it's taking 2-3 seconds, why not we can put in scatter gather? But we can't send this success email before creating these two things. If we will send before creating these two things, then again we are misguiding the customer. His account is not created and we are sending, if we will do it here. Okay, in parallel. So these two will be in one branch and this will be in another branch. So in that case also we are misguiding customer. Okay, your account hasn't created, but you received success message, like your account got created. If it will fail here or here anywhere, and we are using scatter gather. In scatter gather, if this branch will be successful, one email will be sent to customer. And due to any reason, if this two failed, then our overall processing failed and customer account is not created. So we should not scatter gather also. Otherwise, like we can remove that problem, 3 second or 2 second problem, by making it scatter together, but overall like user experience will be bad. User will receive notification before creating account, and at the same time it may happen if there will be technical problem, then user will receive wrong in detail. So what we can do, then we can follow another approach, that will be we can create one async scope and we will put it here. Okay, this is our async. This is our async scope. Okay, now what will happen once like thread will come here at the same time, this thread will be active. Okay, and one more thread will be created. Okay, which will go here. So now from this particular component, two thread will be created. One thread will go here and another thread will go to async component. Okay, so once you will configure async component after any component, it will create one more thread for that async component and main thread will keep continuing in next process. Okay, so previously it was going to this component and then it was going to this component. Now it will go this component directly and one another thread will be created for this component. Okay, now after this processing, okay, once this process component will be executed successfully, our API will get success response. They will not wait for processing of this one. Let's say after this, it's taking 1 second and it's taking 5 seconds. So after this component, within 1 second, it our like whoever calling this API, they will get response. They don't need to wait for 5 seconds to be successful of this. Even if this will fail, like they will get success response. Okay, so in this way, async processing work. Anyone has any doubt? Is it clear to everyone? Getting any response? Just reply with yes or no.
Yes,
Since
yes,
these are
yes, Praveen.
okay, these components are very important component. Okay, if you will not have detailed understanding, then like you will not able to create a good design of your API. Okay, on and like when you are going on architect position, like you have to review code and other thing. So you should know or you should have idea of all the capability in software. Okay, so this is one example for async one. Cache. Okay, so how cache work? That is also very important. So everyone familiar with cache hit and cache miss?
No, Ravi, I never had a chance to work on that.
Yeah, that is like similar to operating system concept. Okay, so let me show you how it works. Okay, so here we have one use case. Okay, where request will come to HTTP listener, then it will go to logger, then we are retrieving like hotel detail based on the city, and then we are transforming it into required format. Okay, from here to here, like overall processing time is let's say here processing time is for this 3 seconds. Okay, and for this processing time for this, let's say processing time is 2 seconds. Okay, and other are like 1 second. What are other component? Listener, logger, transform message. all of these are taking 1 second. So overall response time for this API is 6 seconds. Okay, now let's say here what we are doing, we are based on the city, we are retrieving the customer info, we are retrieving the hotel detail first. Okay, how many hotels are there in that city? And then we are retrieving availability, how many available seats are there, or you can say available rooms are there. And then we are sending into required form, we are transforming into required format, and then we are sending back. Okay, so like if you go to any like company where they are doing this hotel booking on and all, on daily basis they may like get 10,000 requests, or if you say hourly, they may expect 1,000 requests in 1 hour. Okay, so in 1,000 requests if they are making in 1 hour, okay, they are getting 1,000 requests for this API within 1 hour, then what is the processing time of this API in 1 hour? Okay, how many time it's taking to process in 1 hour? So that will be 1,000 into 1 second for other component, means total 3 to 5 plus 1, 6 second. Okay, so 6 second into 1,000. So how much it will be? 6,000 second. So first thing, like this overall processing time for this API, not for single call, for 1,000 transaction, it's taking 6,000 second, which is too high. First of all, like if any REST API is taking more than 2-3 seconds, then that API will not be considered as a good API, since REST API should return response within fraction of second, or maximum 1 second, 2 second. It should not take 5 seconds, 6 seconds. Otherwise, user experience will not be good. Okay, nowadays, like as a user, whenever we go for any like app or anywhere, we are expecting response within a fraction of second. When we are clicking, that next thing should come. If your page will keep loading for 5 seconds, 10 seconds, then you will not like prefer to use that app. Okay, means we are expecting immediate response. So here one call is taking 6 seconds. Okay, so that will not give a good user experience. At the same time, overall processing time for that particular API for 1 hour is too high, that is 6,000 seconds. Okay, now here you can see we have two functionality, two things. We are retrieving two information. One is like hotel detail, how many hotels are there in that city, and another one is availability, seat availability. So seat availability may change in 5 minutes. Okay, next 5 minutes there may be 2-3 bookings, so that seat availability may change. But list of hotel, okay, how many hotels are registered with that particular hotel booking website? So that list will not change very frequently. Maybe once in a day, one new hotel, one new hotel will be added. Okay, or twice in a day, new hotel will be added. So that change will be very rare, like will be will not be very frequently. Okay, so in that case, what we are expecting here, we are expecting here static response. From here, there is a high chance of getting static response for 24 hours. Okay, after 24 hours, we will get new hotel from this list. Okay, so what we can do, instead of calling this to call again and again, what we can do, we can store their data inside cache. Okay, so what I will do, We stored data inside cache. Now, whenever request will come, so okay, at the same time, when we configure this cache, we have to give some key. Okay, here what we are doing, we are retrieving hotel detail based on city. So our city will be key. Okay, so now create one table. So our table will have city, that will be key, and value result. Okay, so let's say we got request for city Kolkata. Okay, so first, whenever this cache will get request for Kolkata, it will come here. Request will come from here to here. Okay, request will come to city. It will check this Kolkata. Okay, so at this moment, Kolkata is nothing is there. Kolkata is here in this particular cache storage. Okay, no, Kolkata is not there. So what it will do, it will call this component and this component. Okay, so after this processing, we will get, okay, for Kolkata, how many hotels are there? We will do required transformation and we will have that list ready. So what I will do, so first when we did request, Kolkata was not there. This is known as cache miss. Okay, we went to search in cache, but it was not there. So that is known as cache miss. So if cache miss will happen, it will call this actual component inside cache. It will get the response and it will store here. Now key will be Kolkata and value will be something like XYZ. Let's say XYZ list of cities are there, a list of hotels are there. And then once we got hotel list, we will call this call to get all the available seat for that particular hotel. And then we will do required transformation and we will send back. So this time it took 6 seconds into 6 into first one call is there. 6 into 1, that is 6 seconds. Now second time we got request for Mumbai. Then again it's a cache miss. And we got list as a PQR. Okay, so first these two processing will happen, then it will store the Mumbai and PQR here. And it will send the hotel list here. This like call will fetch all the available seat for those hotels and it will send the final response back to calling system. Now third request we received, let's say for Bangalore. And we got from there XYZ. Okay, let's send to. Okay, so again, these two processing will happen and we will store here and then we will do required processing. Every time it's taking 6 seconds, 6 seconds, 6 seconds. So you will say, how is the improvement after cache? Also, it's taking 6 seconds. Now, in next call, we got 5 requests. Okay, out of those 5 requests, 2 requests for Kolkata, 2 requests for Mumbai, and 1 request for, let's say, Pune. So when we receive 2 requests for Kolkata, this time we got that hit here. Okay, cache hit. Okay, this time it's not cache miss, this time it's cache hit. We have already Kolkata here and we have that value. So we will retrieve the value. So instead of spending this 3 seconds, now we will get value from cache itself. This two component will not process. So cache will get data from their storage. Okay. And it got response XYZ and it will send response to here. So instead of 3 seconds, now it will take 100 milliseconds. Okay. Since retrieving data from cache will not take much time, like it will take in milliseconds. So let's assume it's taking 100 milliseconds. Previously it was taking 3 seconds, now it's 100 milliseconds. So there is huge gap. It's taking very lesser time. 1 by 30th time it's taking. Okay, so now our processing time will be almost 3 seconds. So it's half of our actual processing time. This is not for one request. This is for two requests. Two requests we got from Kolkata. Two requests we got for Mumbai. That will also take around 3 seconds. And one request we got for Pune. That was new city. So it will take 6 seconds. So in actual, like in previously, if we will consider previous scenario, then for 5 requests, 5 into 6, 30 seconds. But now it's taking 4 requests is taking 3 seconds, 12 seconds plus 6 seconds, 18 seconds. So you can see like there is a gap of 12 seconds. So if our API will take lesser time, it will consume less resources. So availability of resources will increase. Our user experience will increase here. User will also get good experience since they are instead of 6 seconds, they are getting response in 3 seconds. Okay, so we have lots of advantage here. Okay, so in this way, this cache component works. You have to define one key, and as a storage, you can use default storage also, or you can use object store also. Okay, now another thing. If you think this list of the hotel will change once in a day, so it's not like you have to do caching for one day. Okay, you can do caching for 1 hour. You can do caching for 6 hours. Okay, your caching time should not be equal to like a response time or like how frequently these components are changing. It should not be equal to that like that change time. It should be lesser than your caching time should be lesser. If it is changing in one day, your caching should be for 6 hours only. If it is changing in 10 minutes, your caching should be for 3 minutes only. Okay, so you should try to give real-time experience to customer as much as possible. Okay, we do caching to increase the performance of our API, but at the same time, you have to think, okay, user should not get like a non-real-time experience. They should get real-time data only. Okay, hope this is clear for everyone. Let me know if anyone has any doubt.
Ravi, what is the default storage?
Default one, I'm not 100% sure, but that is also object store. That will not be managed by you. That will be managed by cache component itself. But default, like once you will create cache object store, then you have to define all the property of object store that we will discuss very soon.
Hmm.
Okay, any other doubt? Okay, just give me 2 minutes. I'm taking some water. Okay. So next, okay, let's take object store only. So in Mulesoft, we have object store, which give us capability of temporary storage. Okay, like it's not like to means it's not database or it's not like file system for storage, but it behaves like similar to database or any other storage. Behavior wise, it's a similar, but like in physical existence, it's not database or it's not file storage. Okay. So we have two kind of object store. One is persistent and one is non-persistent. Okay, if you create persistent object store, then even if your application will be redeployed, okay, if you will redeploy your application, still data will be there. And if you create non-persistent, like if you will not select persistent option, then once your server will restart or once your Mule application will restart, all the data from that object store will be cleaned. Okay. So we have two kind of object store. One is persistent, another one is non-persistent. In case of persistent, even if server will restart, data will be there. Key value pair will be stored. It will be still there. But if you will select non-persistent, it means you will not select the checkbox of persistent, then it will create object store which will replace their data, means which will reset their data once Mule application or server will restart. Okay. So we'll see what all property we have in object store. Okay, so for object store, like similar to as I mentioned, it's not database and all, but it behaves similar to that. Okay, so to create or to connect with object store, we have object store connector. Okay, and inside this, we have multiple properties. Okay. So not properties, we have multiple operation, you can say. Okay, so first operation we have stored, okay, which will store the key value pair inside object store. Then we have retrieve. Okay, it will retrieve the key value pair from object store. Retrieve all. So what it will do, if you will call retrieve, then you have to pass key. It will retrieve key value pair for that particular key. If you will select retrieve all, then it will retrieve key value pair for all the existing. It will retrieve key value pair for all the existing key value pair. Okay. If you will click on retrieve all key, then it will give you retrieve. It will give you all the key available in object store. Remove. Using this operation, you can remove the key value pair. And contains, it will check that key value pair exists or not. Whatever key you will provide, it will check that key value pair exists or not. Clear. It will clear your object store. Okay. So we have this many of operation in object store. Okay. So first thing what you need to do, go to global element, create. Connector configuration, object store config. Select this. Object store, test connection. Test connection successful. Okay. Okay, let's pass two things from our payload. We will pass key and value. Okay. Key, that will be payload dot key value. Payload dot value. Okay. Here key we will give where dot key and value will be where dot value. Okay. And then it will ask you to create object store. Okay, so click on this plus symbol. So this part is very important. You have to understand in very detail. So first thing I mentioned, like there will be two kind of object store. Persistent, if you will select this, if you will uncheck it will be non-persistent. Okay, so persistent means even if you will restart, data will be there. Non-persistent, like if you will uncheck this, data will lost there. So I selected persistent one. Then here maximum entry, how many key value pair will be created inside object store. Okay. So if you will give nothing, then it will be in like undefined one. Or if you want, you can give maximum value, let's say 1000.
What is the use
Okay.
of persistent?
Sorry.
What is the use of persistent? We can provide the manual entries.
Persistent means even if your Mule application will redeploy or server will restart, your key value pair like object store data will be there. It will not be deleted. Is it clear?
Yes.
Maximum entry 1000 TTL. TTL will be time to live. How much time your key value pair will be there inside object store. Okay, let's say I want to store it for 5 minutes. Or let's say 2 minutes. Okay, TTL unit. So I want to make it 2 minutes. Expiration interval. Okay, so in object store, they have one inbuilt job. Okay, that job will run to clean this data. Okay, so how frequently that job will run? So that is your expiration interval. So I want to run this job in every 1 minute. Okay, so what will happen? In every 1 minute, this job will run, and what it will do, it will check how many key value pair has completed their TTL. Okay, if that particular key value pair has completed their TTL, then it will delete that particular key value pair from object store. So this is the expiration interval. This is instruction to our job, like instruction to our object store job to clear the key value pair. What all key value pair has completed their TTL. Okay. Then config reference, just now we created object store config. So this will be our config reference. Click on OK. So what this particular operation will do, this will retrieve key value pair from object. Sorry, this will store key value pair in our object store. Okay, so here operation I will give paste store. Okay. Next, what I will do, retrieve. Okay. So here, instead of this store, we'll use retrieve. Key will be where's dot key. For this particular key, if there will not be any key, what will be default value? So I don't want to give any default value. Okay. Object store. Here you need to select same object store. If you will select different object store, then whatever you are storing data in one object store, you are retrieving from another object store. So definitely you will not able to find any data. So whatever you created while storing, you need to select same while retrieving. Okay. So we are done with this configuration. Now what I will do, this is running on 8081. Fine. So let me deploy this application.
Ravi, for storing the cache only we are using this object store, or is there any other use also?
Object store. In object store, you can store any temporary data, not only cache. Other places also we use to store
In
uh,
VM and MQ also we can use.
object store, VMMQ, and are different thing. Okay. So other use case of object store we use, like whenever we want to store this any token and all. Sometimes you need to store token and all for some temporary purpose. Wherever you want to store data for temporary purpose, we use this object store.
Okay.
So Ravi, if you want to create a cache block, we need to create object store, right?
Yeah, for caching, you can use default storage or you can create object store.
Okay.
It's deployed successfully. Now we'll go to Postman. Yep. Let's call this API. So we got 200 success. So what I will do, retrieve. Key we are passing same. We don't need to. Okay, actually, this will be null if we will not pass. So it should be fine. So we got this value. Since we have created, here we stored 1001 with value ABC. So when we did retrieve call, okay, retrieve call is this call. This one is stored call and this one is retrieve call. When I did retrieve, I got value ABC. If I will try to call for 1002, so we will get error since there is no data with this value. Object store doesn't contain any value. Okay, let's go back to 1001. Now for this also we may get similar error. Okay, since it hasn't completed 2 minutes. So after 2 minutes, again we will start getting error for this also. Since after 2 minutes, that key value pair will be deleted from there. Okay, let's wait for 1 minute.
Ravi, instead of localhost, we are using 4 zeros, right?
Yeah, both are same.
Okay. And we can through body, we are getting, instead of that, we can try for the headers also, right? Or we can use body only.
Body means you can pass data anywhere. So I'm for testing like purpose, I'm passing in body.
Okay. Okay. I think 1 minute over. We can try it again.
So this time we got error. So you can see here that like key value pair will be there for 2 minutes, and after 2 minutes, that key value pair for like will be deleted from that object store. Okay. So in this way, this store and retrieve works. Anyone has any doubt on this too?
No, Ravi. No, we are okay.
Okay, fine. So next we will see like these all will work in same way. So we'll not do POC for all. In retrieve, we are getting one key value pair. In retrieve all, it will fetch all the key value pair from there. Okay. Retrieve all key, it will only fetch the all the key value key from there, not value. Contains, it will whatever key you will check, it will check that key contains value there or not. Okay. Then clear, it will clear the object store. So these all operations we have, and as we discuss, object store we use to store temporary data. Okay. Then flow, like it's very simple, like we will not go in detail. So we already know how it works. For each, that also we know. Okay. Try block. Okay. So for try block, again, like it's straightforward. In try block, what will happen? Whenever request will come, okay, whatever component you have inside try block, okay, all the component will execute. If there will be any failure in any one component, it will go to error handler of try block. Okay, if we are handling error there, then well and good. Otherwise, it that error will go to their parent flow. What is the parent flow of that try block, which contains error handler? It will go to there. Okay, and until successful, this component we discuss, like it will keep retrying for configurable time. Okay, and there will be delay of few seconds. This all are straightforward only. Now this error handling, like we will discuss some scenario on this. Okay, let's discuss some scenario on this. Okay, I'm giving you few scenario, and you need to tell me, like someone need to answer me how and like what component you will use and how you will handle that one. Okay.
Hello, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm sending. I'm typing here. Give me 1 more minute actually. Okay, so this is the first question. What will be behavior of variable and payload before and after of first for each and second parallel for each? So you need to start solving this question one by one. This is the second scenario based question. You need to select which component you will use and how you will use. Okay, this one is like QA session. So we'll have discussion for third one. So you need to start solving, okay? From first, you need to start solving. Please reply with yes in chat if you have completed all three. Let me know if anyone want to scroll screen. If anyone want to scroll my screen, let me know. If anyone has completed, then you need to put yes in chat.